Bangor.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, the results are still coming in, but we're getting a good idea of who won yesterday's top races.
We'll also catch up with some children in Hamden who used a unique way to select the winning candidates.
Plus, someone on the West Coast is the winner of that massive Powerball jackpot. We'll hear about that as well.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us. We will have the latest election results coming up along with a lot more. But first, we're going to kick things off with a check of that forecast, which has looked pretty nice.
I know. Devin has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling here. A small cloud advisory remains in effect for a little while. It's going to get dropped at around 7 a.m. or so. That's when things will begin to improve as the wave heights will start to calm down at that point. But there's nothing on the radar and satellite as we have a few nice days on the way. Unfortunately, I think we'll have to wait till about the weekend time frame for things to get active yet again. But for now, things looking pretty quiet out there as we give you the bigger picture. High pressure's right overhead, so overall, things for us are looking pretty good. So we'll have to wait a few days for our next system to move in, so we have a few nice days on the way. But moving forward, though, we do have some clouds that'll be moving forward from time to time later on tonight and parts of tomorrow. Any precipitation you see here will stay off to the north, so we will stay dry overall. As for the wind will finally begin to calm down. It's going to be kind of out of the south in a few areas at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it's going to pick up tomorrow, though, with gusts up to 15 miles per hour in a few areas. As for today, though, it's not bad out there. Upper 40s, a little cooler, mostly sunny, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Moving ahead towards tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds, temperatures in the upper 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin.
Well, Election Day 2022 is now part of history, and it's becoming clear who will lead our state into the coming years.
We won't know the official results until all the votes are counted, but we're getting a good idea of who won the top races. By the time election night was over, it became clear that Governor Janet Mills will be returning to the Blaine House.
It appears Jared Golden will also be returning to Washington, although ranked choice voting may come into play in that race because it was so close.
All right, we're going to take a close look at those numbers now. For the gubernatorial race, Janet Mills has been reelected as governor, as you can see there, with a majority of the precincts reporting in now. Looks like she ended up with quite a lead over Republican governor, former governor Paul LePage, who came in with a little more than 239,000 votes. And independent Sam Hunkler trails behind them. All right, moving on now.
And Governor Mills watched the election results come in from southern Maine, where she addressed her very happy supporters.
Tonight would not have been possible without the thousands of Maine people who supported this campaign, who volunteered to make calls and knock on doors, who convinced their family and friends to vote in this midterm election. You put your whole heart into this race, and I'm forever grateful for the time and talents you've given. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank every one of you.
And in Maine's 2nd Congressional District, the race is still too close to call. Congressman Jared Golden is currently leading that race, but because he doesn't have that 50% majority, it looks like it will end up being decided by ranked choice voting. And it appears right now he came in with about 126,000 votes. That was with 80% of the precincts reporting at around 3:30 this morning. The component Bruce Poliquin came in with around 114,000 votes. Independent Tiffany Bond getting around 18,000. So it appears he will keep his seat.
And a representative from Jared Golden's campaign spoke to supporters as the polls closed around the state. Let's listen to that.
He doesn't seek the limelight. He's not in it for that. He's in it to do the work for his constituents. And I like to say he's a workhorse, not a show horse. And the citizens of this district really appreciate that.
Actually, we just received a statement from Jared Golden a little bit ago. Again, that race is still being called. He says the current state of the race is very encouraging. I'm humbled by the support we are seeing from around the district. At this point, we are continuing to maintain around a 4-point lead over Bruce Poliquin in the event there is an instant runoff scenario. I expect it to strengthen my margin of victory. Anyway, still watching that race pretty close. We did hear from Poliquin last night, too.
And he called it a night. Around 11 o'clock last night, he was at Dysarts in Bangor. He thanked his supporters for helping him in a very tight race.
It's close. Yeah, we told you we're going to be close. It's razor thin. No, this is really close. This is one of the true swing districts in the country. About 25 of these districts in the country. It's very close, yeah. We'll see where it all goes and regroup in the morning, right? Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the press, too, for being here. Appreciate you folks covering this. Good night, everybody.
That's Bruce Poliquin at Dysarts last night. Again, it looks like Jared Golden won that race, but we'll be hearing later on today more if they were going to use ranked choice voting or not to kind of narrow it. It looks like that's the case at this point. Right. District 1 Representative Shelley Pingree, down from southern Maine, she has been reelected to the U.S. House. We'll take a look at that. She came out, really no problem, taking on the Republican challenger Edward Thielander there. So Shelley Pingree elected to another term in Washington.
And it appears Democrats will be holding on to their power in Augusta. According to the latest numbers from the Bangor Daily, Democrats will claim 77 of the 151 seats in the House. They'll also hold a 22-13 seat advantage in the Maine Senate. It was a very expensive campaign season. Millions of dollars were spent by outside groups to help Democrats hang on to power. They spent 3 times more than Republicans this election season. Now, let's take a look at some of the other races. In Bangor, 3 seats were open for the 3-year terms of Bangor City Council. Richard Fournier was elected, Cara Pelletier, and Daniel Tremble. Those are some faces many of us may recognize here in Bangor.
Moving right along here, State Senate District 9. This is also here in the Bangor and Herman area with Joe Baldacci, the incumbent, taking on Suzette Furrow. It looks like Joe Baldacci having no problem returning to the State House.
And in Hancock County for State Senate District 7, incumbent Nicole Grahowski does take the lead over Brian Langley. She's has about 12,000 votes over his mid-8,000s right now.
We'll see what else we have there. This is State Senate District 4 with Stacey Guerin. Looking like she had no problem beating out Andrea Thurrow in that race, the Democrat in that race.
And for State Senate District 10, this is South Penobscot and North Waldo counties. Ralph Kamek came behind Peter Lyford. Lyford is the Republican candidate, came in with a little over 9,000 votes, and this is with about 81% of the votes counted.
Okay, we'll be continuing to hear more. This is a big race, too, with Eric Rojo there. And Mike Tipping, a familiar face there, ended up winning that one. We will be getting more numbers as the day rolls along today. One thing that we have heard so far is that the folks down in Bar Harbor have approved enacting new restrictions against all the cruise ships there. They're kind of congesting the town when the cruise ships are in town. So it looks like they will be limiting the cruise ships down in Bar Harbor. And we just heard from the Levant Fire Chief in the last hour. It looks like the residents of Levant have approved spending some money to buy a brand new state-of-the-art fire engine.
Which, of course, both of those referendum questions we bring up specifically because those affect more than just those 2 towns. Of course, with Bar Harbor, anybody who visits Bar Harbor knows, or who has stock in Bar Harbor knows that, hey, this is a very busy time for them. Whatever you think of it, it can be congested. And with Levant, they aren't the only one that serves. They don't just serve their Levant community, that fire department. They often respond to other calls as well.
That fire truck will show up in towns all throughout the area over the years ahead. So, they're very happy they're getting that new fire truck.
Yes. Well, the time is now 8:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll continue our election coverage with a look at the important races that will determine the balance of power in Washington.
But first, another check of that forecast. Looks like a pretty nice day today. Mostly sunny skies with highs around 47 degrees. Tonight, the clouds will start moving in. It'll be partly cloudy with lows dipping down into the high 30s, followed by a partly cloudy day tomorrow, a bit warmer. The highs almost up near 60 degrees. We'll be right back.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. Not sure what the weather will be in your neck of the woods, but there's a 100% chance of Luke showing up near you. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes throughout Maine. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
I've been having foot pain for at least 10 years. The first day I put the key boot on, I could tell the difference. My pain level has been so much better. I was amazed. The key boots made it possible for me to actually walk without pain. I can go shopping, walking around the store without wanting to cry. I mean, I feel like dancing sometimes. The key boots made all the difference. Very happy with it. Comfort shoes, it's just changed my life.
Looking for winter services? There is still time to sign up. The pros at Atlantic Lawn Care and Landscape specialize in snow removal and ice management for commercial and residential properties. They will take care of the snow plowing, snow blowing, shoveling, salting, and sanding. Atlantic now has 2 locations and is accepting new clients in Brewer, Bangor, Vesey, and in town Orono, Brunswick, Topsail, Bath, and surrounding areas. Call for your free estimate or visit our website for customizable services. Local, reliable, and fully insured. Atlantic Lawn Care and Landscape.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
The bond between twins is a close one.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Ah.
As day is tonight.
Would you like me to introduce you to algebra? Ow who? Oh boy.
And wrong is to right.
They both say weird kid who eats alone.
You can't have one without the other.
I need my own space. But we've always shared a room. I have a training bra. When you complete your training, get back to me.
Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Welcome back. The Cross Insurance Center stayed busy all day long yesterday as residents came by the city to do their civic duty. Many of the voters we spoke with were enthusiastic about casting their ballots.
I have never missed a voting opportunity since I was 18.
It's just a great way to start the day and get it out of the way before we head off and do everything else.
Why did you want to come out and vote today?
Because voting is the right thing to do.
Their turnout appeared to be very high at the polling places all around the state, even after some communities saw record numbers of absentee and early voters leading up to Election Day.
Voters lined up at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor to cast their ballots when the polls opened at 7 Tuesday morning. The city made sure to have plenty of poll workers on hand to help ensure voting was seamless for those making their voices heard on Election Day. Bangor City Clerk Lisa Goodwin said 130 people were working at the polls at the Cross Insurance Center alone throughout the day. One of those workers is Andrew Moeller.
Well, I firmly believe in the democratic process and feel that it's really important to make sure that we have, really quality people who are paying attention to our whole process and following procedures and making sure that every vote counts.
This is the 5th year Moeller has worked the polls on Election Day.
Now, before their parents cast their votes, some children were in Hamden also considering the elections yesterday. The Highland preschoolers were asked to use their taste buds to determine the winner. Jody Hersey explains.
It's a Sugar Bear Election Day, and we are voting for our favorite Teddy Grahams. We're voting for chocolate chip, honey, and chocolate.
Every year on Election Day, the students at Highland Preschool get the chance to enter the voting booth and weigh in on a race unlike any other. Which Teddy Graham flavor is the best?
All of them.
All of them? Well, which was your most favorite?
Chocolate.
Why was that your favorite?
It just was.
The 15 students in class taste test each and every flavor before casting a colored ballot in the ballot box.
Oh, it's very important because they see their moms and dads going off to the voting booths, and it's a great introduction to the election process.
At the end of the school day, all the votes were tallied.
Thank you for voting, sir. Would you like a sticker? All right, it says, I voted today. Thank you for doing your civic duty. You make sure and tell mom and dad to vote today too, okay?
The results were undisputable. The chocolate-flavored Teddy Graham won by a landslide in a race where ranked choice voting wasn't needed. In Hamden, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
I think that's my favorite story of the day right
Yeah,
there.
mine too.
That was
Mine
a
too.
neat idea to get the kids involved.
They say with kids too, it's like use the direct language that you would be using because just don't dumb it down for them, and I think that's awesome.
They'll pick it up.
Right, it's something recognizable as Teddy Grahams though. It's like, hey, we can easily pick which ones we like.
Right.
It's just let's go a little slower here because
And they might be onto something too. I mean, if they offer Teddy Grahams to the adults or other snacks, you might get more people to the polls.
I like the way you think.
Yeah.
Snacks are a great incentive.
I love snacks too. Well, the time now is 8:14. Coming up after the break, we'll check in with the national midterm election results.
Plus, we'll hear a midterm analysis from our ABC News 1 affiliate. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With 25 years experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location.
Sunday. An iconic showdown. Shaped by history.
The receiver did not maintain possession. It is good! The Packers are moving on!
Fueled by passion. A rivalry reborn. Cowboys, Packers, Sunday on Fox.
And now to the latest on the 2022 national midterm election. Key races across the country remain at razor-thin margins. As the ballot count continues, control of Congress remains on the line. ABC's Justin Finch is tracking the details from Capitol Hill.
A major win overnight. ABC News projecting Democrat John Fetterman as the winner of Pennsylvania's open Senate seat.
I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue. And tonight, that's why I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
Fetterman's fitness for office questioned after suffering a stroke last spring. The lieutenant governor now defeating Trump-backed Republican Mehmet Oz after mega endorsements from Oprah, former President Obama, and President Biden. The Pennsylvania pickup seen as key for Democrats in a battle for control of the Senate chamber. Candidates in other key Senate races still hopeful they will pull out wins.
We always knew that this race would be close. And so here, that's where we are.
Senate Democrat Raphael Warnock locked in a neck-and-neck race for re-election against Republican challenger Herschel Walker.
If you can hang in there a little bit longer.
If neither Walker nor Warnock gets 50%, they will face a runoff election next month.
It is clear that we are going to take the House back.
Republicans predicting a red wave on election night, but ABC's John Carl says results are bearing out otherwise.
It's nowhere near the night they thought they were going to have, and it's not a certainty that they're going to take the House back.
And exit polling shows young voters have been decisive in this election, overwhelmingly backing Democrat candidates in House races and largely choosing abortion over the economy as their top issue. And in that crucial Georgia Senate race, they're backing Democrat Raphael Warnock. On Capitol Hill, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
Again, in some of those races, we'll have to wait to see what the day brings today.
I know, even here in Maine.
Yeah.
Well, the time is now 8:19.
Time to get a look at that forecast with Devin.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get these rolling here this morning. A small craft advisory is in effect until 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, so later this morning, this will begin to get dropped as things will begin to improve. But even with that, the sky is pretty clear out there this morning. Not a whole lot going on here, so if you're looking for a good reason to get outside today, you will have that. Temperatures just a little bit cooler to the 40s, but nothing to get too concerned about there. We have high pressure right overhead. Our next system off toward the west. We'll wait for a few days for this to move in, as by the weekend, more decent rainfall will be on the way. Let's check out what's now Nicole, though. Tropical storm Nicole. It's now gained all of its tropical characteristics, with winds up to 70 miles per hour, moving towards the west-northwest at around 13 miles per hour. We have tropical storm warnings and, of course, hurricane warnings up as well. It is expected to reach a Category 1 hurricane before landfall, and then swing up towards the north and east. So we may have to watch this system as it does develop. We will get some rain from this as it does develop. But moving forward, though, back here at home, we had a little bit of wind recently, but that's really starting to calm down. We'll have to wait till tomorrow or even later tonight and tomorrow for the winds to pick up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour in the gusty winds department again, but sustained winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, the wave height started to calm down along the coastline, right around 2 to 4 feet in some areas, 9 feet according to this buoy, even 11 feet in a few spots. So still the ocean remaining rather active moving forward. Our average high temperature is 49 degrees. We'll reach today for the upper 40s, so it's a little bit cooler, but not by much, though. We'll be in the upper 50s for your Thursday, lower 60s for your Friday, and back in the mid-60s as we head towards your Saturday before we cool back down into the 40s moving forward. So futurecast for today, a beautiful day with a lot of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds late. Will become partly to even mostly cloudy in a few spots tonight. Any precipitation you see here will stay off toward the north. We will stay dry overall for the next few days, and even by tomorrow looking pretty good. Just a few passing clouds, no rain to worry about here. We will stay dry, but still nice weather moving forward. Just a few passing clouds at least through Friday. So for today, upper 40s, mostly sunny with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, maybe lower 60s, partly cloudy, southwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Boosted Auto and Diesel extended forecast. So here we are. So by Veterans Day, we'll be mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 60s. We'll be in the middle 60s on Saturday with a good chance for rain. Sunday, mostly cloudy, highs falling to the upper 40s.
Thank you, Devin.
Still much more to come as Good Morning Maine continues.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
It takes all types to play Family Feud, but tell it all.
Name something Grandma wears that might also fit Grandpa.
Yeah, I know my grandma used to have a beard.
The Spicy Seniors.
Hey, Eddie, why they call you Fast Eddie?
Because he made me so happy so fast.
Whoa! Steve, it was a triple and a home run, baby.
See who shows up all season on Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22. Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Just weeks after Hurricane Ian tore through Florida, people are now preparing for yet another storm. Forecasters say coastal flooding and rip currents could extend up through North Carolina. Fox Weather's Robert Ray has more.
Hurricane season won't be going away quietly. Tropical storm Nicole is churning towards Florida's east coast. Forecasters expect the system to reach hurricane strength when it makes landfall late Wednesday or early Thursday. While Nicole's exact path remains unclear, officials in Palm Beach County say they will be prepared.
It's a situation where we're going to be watching the storm, but this is not something to be terribly concerned about because we're built for this.
The storm's effects could extend through North Carolina. Up and down the coast, people are filling sandbags and putting shutters on their windows. Crews in low-lying areas are cleaning out drainage systems ahead of flooding or storm surge.
The prep is pretty much all year long for me.
Nicole threatens to bring high winds and several inches of rain to areas already devastated by Hurricane Ian. Officials in harder-hit areas say some people are still living in backyard tents as they clean up homes.
They're crashing inside of their place of business until they can find a place to stay. You know, almost every single rental has been rented.
Residents are asked to make sure any tarps on their roofs are secure. Communities here say the possibility of more damage is unthinkable.
We're still cleaning up and still trying to get back halfway livable. And it's just, I don't know.
The Atlantic hurricane season wraps up at the end of this month. In Jacksonville Beach, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
The nation's largest retailer is now offering Black Friday deals to help customers save during inflation. Holiday deals began online on Monday, and those who love to scarf up deals in person can grab the savings starting today. Some of the tech deals include a $1,000 WeMax projector down to $539, a Shark Easy Robot down from $449 to $258, and an Apple Watch Series 3 about $50 off, down to $149.
All right, now let's check in with the latest business headlines this morning. In the middle of Election Day, stock traders making their pick to buy. The Dow finishing up 1%. The S&P closed 0.6% higher, and the NASDAQ finished trading up 0.5%. If you're planning on traveling, don't expect to get much of a deal on airfare anytime soon. Airline executives say high fuel costs, rising labor costs, and delays in getting new planes are all combining to keep fares high. The Labor Department says the Consumer Price Index for airfare was up more than 40% compared to a year ago. The company behind Facebook, meanwhile, Instagram and WhatsApp, is reportedly ready to start laying off thousands of people. Yesterday, they said, according to Wall Street Journal, Meta head Mark Zuckerberg told hundreds of executives that he's accountable for being too optimistic about the company's growth. Netflix is looking to add live sports to its shows and movies. The Wall Street Journal says the company has recently bid on events like tennis, and it is apparently exploring buying some smaller sports leagues to stream their events on the platform.
Now to the jumbo Powerball jackpot. Someone who bought a ticket in Southern California is America's newest billionaire. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the details.
A winner has been announced in the largest Powerball jackpot in history, making someone out there a billionaire. Powerball officials saying the winning ticket was sold in the Southern California town of Altadena. All 6 numbers matched. This was the 41st drawing, the jackpot reaching a whopping $2.04 billion. This coming after a glitch Monday night.
Because of a technical problem tonight, we are unable to bring you the Powerball drawing at this time.
Organizers say the delay was due to a participating lottery needing extra time to complete the required security protocols.
We've never in lottery history anywhere in the U.S. had a jackpot this high. Who doesn't want to have a little chance and dream big?
Odds of winning the record-breaking jackpot, 1 in 292 million. One lucky person in Colorado took home $50,000 from the Powerball drawing this weekend.
10,000 of it's going to my kid's college fund. This pretty much makes it so he will not have to have student loans, which is excellent. The rest we're going to put into retirement investments.
Now, if that one winner decides to take the lump sum, it's $997.6 million in cash. Experts highly recommend hiring a financial advisor to help manage this life-changing moment.
hire an advisor, some lawyers.
Multiple lawyers.
And then go into hiding somewhere, right? Yeah.
Ask for it all in gold.
There you go.
Just bury it in your backyard.
Yeah.
Well, when we return, we'll have the latest news out of Hollywood.
Don't go away.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50, but it's gonna take some planning.
What can you do for me?
Make sure your money lives as long as you do. The younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Welcome to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop in Brewer.
And some call me the King.
There are RC trucks, cars, crawlers, and parts aplenty. There are planes, metal detectors, and gear galore. I have decreed that all people can book birthday parties with their RC vehicles provided for all. We have indoor and outdoor tracks and crawling courses available. Bring yourself, your family, and friends to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop, South Main Street, Brewer.
Can you believe someone thought this would help you hear better and no one will notice it? Genius. Now this is Eargo, made to be heard, not seen.
This Veterans Day, save 20% on Eargo 6.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. Today is Go to a Art Museum Day. Do you have a favorite art museum of all time?
I don't. I really like the UMaine Art Museum.
Yeah.
Probably because I've only been to that one a few times.
Right.
But I've always enjoyed it when I've gone there. I went to one event there and learned all about the programs they have. It's a really neat organization. And of course, in Washington, have you ever done that? You know, the
That's
National
on my
Art
bucket
Museum.
list.
That's incredible. You get to see some of the things that you've only seen in pictures and whatever. So.
Right. I saw Monet in the Legion of Honor in San Francisco on a road trip a few years ago, and I've been lucky enough. My dad took me to the Guggenheim when I was a kid
cool.
in New York.
Yeah. I could talk about that. You know,
talk about that.
Yeah, I like good art. So.
We're cultured here.
Wicked cultured.
Well, on this day in history, in 1620, the passengers aboard the Mayflower sighted Cape Cod as they traveled to the New World.
In 1989, communist East Germany threw open its borders, allowing citizens to travel freely to the west. It was long before the wall started being torn down there. And in 1976, the UN General Assembly approved a resolution condemning apartheid in South Africa, calling the white-ruled government there illegitimate.
Today's birthdays include actor Lou Ferrigno, he's 71 years old, singer Nick Lachey. I'm so sorry, you've told me 3 times today. From 98 Degrees is 49, and Baseball Hall of Famer Whitney Herzog is 91 years old.
You know, there's just some singers from different time periods. I have no idea who they are, too.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons we do this. We learn a little bit as we do these things, too.
I know. You get to, a new song for the car ride home. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you know about that 98 Degrees existed. Don't you feel better?
I do.
They weren't really my thing, but they were super huge back then. So. All right, let's talk about the weather. It looks like another nice day ahead today, although it is a little bit chillier out there, but plenty of sunshine, so if you like the sun, you're in luck.
You can get some vitamin D today.
Yeah.
Devin Biggs has the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling here. A small cloud advisory remains in effect for a little while. It's going to get dropped at around 7 a.m. or so. That's when things will begin to improve as the wave fronts will start to calm down at that point. But there's nothing on the radar and satellite as we have a few nice days on the way. Unfortunately, I think we'll have to wait till about the weekend time frame for things to get active yet again. But for now, things looking pretty quiet out there as we give you the bigger picture. High pressure's right overhead, so overall, things for us are looking pretty good. So we'll have to wait a few days for our next system to move in, so we have a few nice days on the way. But moving forward, though, we do have some clouds that'll be moving forward from time to time later on tonight and parts of tomorrow. Any precipitation you see here will stay off to the north, so we will stay dry overall. As for the wind will finally begin to calm down. It's going to be kind of out of the south in a few areas at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it's going to pick up tomorrow, though, with gusts up to 15 miles per hour in a few areas. As for today, though, it's not bad out there. Upper 40s, a little cooler, mostly sunny, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Moving ahead towards tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy, with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds, temperatures in the upper 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
All right, thank you very much, Devin. Meanwhile, Netflix is, sorry to speak over you there, is thinking of adding live sports to the platform. We told you a little bit about that. A report by the Wall Street Journal says Netflix is exploring investments in live sports now, broadcasting, and has recently bid for the streaming rights for sports leagues, too.
The report also says Netflix is discussing bidding for events, including cycling competitions. The data says Netflix executives have considered buying lower-profile leagues to avoid the mounting costs of bidding for sports rights, which is definitely an interesting tactic there.
Yeah.
I know people, that may not be exactly what the people want, so I'm interested to see.
I know, big money involved. That's all I know.
Right. Well, a first look at Brendan Fraser and The Whale. Bad Sisters gets more episodes and more.
Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest from Hollywood Nation.
Fraser makes a big transformation. The Garvey sisters return, and Coco gets a new platform in the Hollywood Nation. Conan O'Brien is heading to satellite radio. The comedian and talk show host will launch his new Sirius XM channel, Team Coco Radio, on November 15th. It will feature interviews, comedy bits, and more from O'Brien's deep vaults.
He's sucking the life out of her.
The Garvey clan is coming back for more murder and mayhem. Apple TV Plus renewed its hit Irish dark comedy series Bad Sisters for a second season. Less than a month since the first season ended on October 14th. The show follows 5 siblings who become the target of an investigation by life insurers when their brother-in-law is found dead. Nicolas Cage has landed a new gig. According to Deadline, the actor will lead the new horror film Longlegs. Plot details have yet to be revealed. Cage will also produce the upcoming thriller through his production company, Saturn Films. And Brendan Fraser transforms into a 600-pound college professor in today's First Looks. A24 released the official trailer to Darren Aronofsky's highly anticipated film, The Whale. Based on the award-winning play, Fraser stars as a severely obese English teacher in the last days of his life, attempting to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. It arrives in theaters December 9th.
People are amazing.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, Disney reaches a new streaming milestone and now says it has more subscribers than even Netflix.
I believe it. Disney says its Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu reached more than 235 million subscribers by October 1st. And that tops Netflix's 223 million subscribers. Disney says it added customers through family-friendly features and franchises. That is what economists say. You got to diversify. So that makes sense.
Makes sense, indeed.
Smart.
I just can't believe how fast it's growing now.
Yeah, I know. A few years ago, I thought, okay, well, I mean, how is this relevant to me? But they've made it relevant to a lot of people.
Right, and we're all paying for it, too.
Right.
Well, a lot of us, anyway.
Right. I'm not yet.
Yeah.
I guess I have to. Well, still to come here this morning, Ryan Sudol will have the latest in local sports.
We'll also be talking fire safety with a special guest.
Yes.
So don't go away.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one, gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Maine's largest Chevy dealer, Quirk Chevrolet, has a tremendous selection of Chevy cars and SUVs. Silverado, where bold is just the beginning. Equinox, the all-wheel drive family SUV. Blazer, the trendsetter SUV. Looking for a quality, certified, or pre-owned vehicle? Look no further than Quirk Motor City, with over 400 used vehicles to choose from, plus a free Carfax history report. It's your Chevy car, truck, or SUV. Find it at Quirk Chevrolet in Bangor, Portland, and Rockland.
Check 1, check 2. The store's appearance may have changed throughout the years, but its dedication to our community and families has not wavered. We will still welcome you with a smile and top-notch service. If you need coffee,
check.
Tasty treats,
check.
Freshly made pizza, check. Or wine and spirits,
check.
Stop by and fill up your tank and check us out.
Ready, set, sketch! 2 celebrity-led teams. An umbrella.
Umbrella's correct.
Face off. In a quick sketch showdown.
Everyone could see we're looking for Piglet.
Pictionary. A person, a penguin.
Bird, big bird.
Every weekday.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.realtor.
We know your life is busy. You have a lot to do. And like you, the news doesn't stop. So when you are ready for us, we'll be ready for you. FoxBangor.com.
Welcome back in, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Ryan Sudol. It was a big weekend in soccer up here. At the high school level, state champs crowned in all classes across the state. And at the college level, the Husson men's soccer team punched a ticket to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. The Eagles, who rode a perfect conference record into the postseason, captured an NAC East championship 2 weekends ago, and then took a 1-0 overtime victory against SUNY Delhi to take home the conference championship, their first one in 8 years. And they say, with all the hard work the team has put in both this year and last, that win meant a lot.
The group of guys I have behind me, I mean, everyone on this team has contributed. The time, the effort that we put in every training session, we're there, you know, this is a family to me. This means so much for all of us.
Now the Eagles have a big test ahead of them. They've never actually won an NCAA tournament game, and they're going to have to beat one of the best teams in the country if they want to get over that hump. The Eagles head down to play Amherst, the host of the regional, and they know they're dogs in the game, but they're also not rolling over.
We're little old Husson from Bangor, Maine. And, you know, a lot of the teams don't even know the record that we have or don't even know how successful we've been over 2 seasons. And so I said to these guys, you know, we've been waiting for this moment. This is our chance. We don't turn up and let anybody just walk all over us. And so we're going to go down there and give them a real shot.
We're the underdogs, right? We have everything to win. And playing one of the best teams in the nation, in our opinion. We have everything to win. It's going to be such a great challenge, and we're ready for it.
Okay, on to some football now. The Patriots picked up a win this week, and now they're back over 500, and they have a week to get some rest before their next game. The defense was the highlight of the day on Sunday, recording 9 sacks and a pick 6. Offense did enough to get by, but it was in no means stellar. Mac Jones threw the ball 30 times for 20 receptions, under 150 yards, and a score. The silver lining, though, no turnovers from him. Now with the win, they take a 2-game winning streak into the bye week, with a chance to rest up and get ready for their opponents from 2 Sundays ago, the Jets. And coming out of the bye, they say they'd like more consistency and some improvements on offense.
Between the coaching staff and the players and you know, just a consistent performance, play in and play out, week in and week out. I think that's really the biggest challenge for us moving forward.
Obviously, offensively, we want to do even better, and we will, and we got to look at the tape to kind of figure that out. But defense played great. You know, Uche, 3 sacks, Judon, 3 sacks, Bentley, sack, DYs, half a sack, you know. So it's just sacks everywhere.
That's it for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be right back.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary and live in the area, call now to see how this little card could get you some big benefits, including money added back to your Social Security check. With one toll-free call, you can find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage, plus extra benefits. You get an all-in-one plan designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, prescription drugs with $0 generics, dental, vision and hearing, plus the WellCare Visa Flex Card, money for over-the-counter items, and money back in your Social Security check each month, and so much more. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare plan for a $0 monthly premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 monthly premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-866-819-7962 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, including money added to your Social Security check to help cover your Part B premium. Call today to get your free copy of the all-in-one guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free plan guide will give you the details you need to make a smart choice for your Medicare coverage. Just call 1-866-819-7962. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information. So call 1-866-819-7962. WellCare. Call today.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we have a very special guest joining us here in the studio today with an important message. Chief Eric Strout is joining us from the Levant Fire Department. First of all, thank you so much for coming here.
You're welcome. Good morning.
This kind of came about, it was a week or so ago. You guys had a deadly fire there in Levant where 2 people passed away following a terrible fire. And you and I got talking about fire safety. There's a lot of concerns about the heating season ahead. People are struggling because of the cost of oil and that kind of thing, and so they might result into doing some things that might be a little dangerous. What are your concerns heading into the heating system?
I think going in, I mean, we've had warm weather, right? So we've been spoiled. We know Maine's going to get cold. We're worried about what people are going to start doing for sources of heat. Heating oil is extremely expensive. I think they're going to look to alternative methods. So we remind people, if you're using a wood stove for the first time, check it out, have your chimney inspected. There may be going to other sources. You know, pellet stoves are safe. It's a good way to check those as well. And then we're talking about some people bring in kerosene heaters, you know, propane space heaters. You got to look at what combustibles you have in your house and be mindful of that. So we're hoping people take those steps now before it gets really cold, and then looking at alternative methods to heat their home.
Now, we've been using things like kerosene heaters for years, but maybe we haven't had to use them so much in the past couple of years. You got to watch where you place them if they get too close to things. I've covered a bunch of fires caused by those things.
Yep, and that's really key. So what do you have around? Mainers, I think typically we like to hoard a lot of stuff in our houses. Yeah. We like to keep a lot of things. Be mindful of what you have around a kerosene heater. One, and then the emissions that it's putting off of the fumes are extremely dangerous, right? So making sure they're properly vented out. If you go to that level that you're using that, we ask that, you know, reach out to your local agencies. We have a lot of information we could provide. And then there's obviously detectors, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. Make sure those work in your house are another key pieces.
And that's one thing that wasn't working in the fire in Levant last weekend, and it happens many times. You might think you have a smoke detector there, but check the batteries. We remind them once a year to do it. But perhaps if you live in an apartment too, it's usually up to the landlords to do that, but they don't always do it, trust me.
No.
So check them yourself.
Yeah, and that's a key thing. We tell everybody just last week, check your batteries, check your smoke detectors. I think the other piece is test them. We work with our young kids, we educate them, and they usually tell us mom or dad burn things when they're cooking. Right. Hey, it's a great way to test it, because you really don't know what that sounds like if you're sound asleep. So test it, make sure the batteries work. We recommend that, you know, every 10 years, replace that detector. But take the steps to make sure, what does a smoke detector sound like? Not when it's chirping, the battery's going bad, but when it's actually going off. Because some people never heard a smoke detector go off, believe it or not. They don't know what that sound is, and that, you know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're woken up by something like that. The next piece is you want to have a plan of how you're going to get out of your house too. So those are key pieces to think of.
Right. And you guys actually have some good news to report this morning after Election Day, right?
Great news, busy Election Day, but we are so proud. The residents of Levant approved us for the purchase of a new fire truck. It's been a long road. My membership has been tremendous at really getting the word out there. We spend a lot of time in the community with our kids, young kids, and really we hope that they're going to come join us years from now, but know that the fire department's there to support them.
Well, you have a busy fire department too. You're called on mutual aid calls in neighboring towns all the time, so this will be benefiting people living next door too.
Absolutely. We automatically cover the town of Stetson, so they benefit with it. We go to all of our mutual aid partners we work closely with, so not only does it help the town of Levant, but you're right, it's going to help all those towns that we border with a new piece of apparatus with state-of-the-art equipment too.
And you did bring up briefly before we went on air, if someone were to need carbon monoxide or fire detectors or even batteries for those things, are you guys able to help in that regard?
Yeah, you know, absolutely. Every department, I think in the state of Maine, we'd all say, reach out to us, reach out to your department. If you need batteries, how to have it checked. Does the smoke detector work? We'll test it for you. Or, you know, we work with the Red Cross. We'd never want to hear someone doesn't have a working smoke detector. that can't afford to put batteries in it, we'll work with you to get that. And, you know, we'll come visit your home. And I speak for almost every fire department probably in the state of Maine.
Yeah.
They'll do the same thing. We want to take care of each other.
Those are life-saving measures. You guys
Absolutely.
do more than what we often show in the news. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for
great
coming on the
point.
show, Eric.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Before you go, one more thing. There's some things we can do around our houses, too. We were talking about it earlier. When you guys show up to a scene, I mean, you need to get up to the house, first of all, get into the house. What can we do to make your job easier? I know snowfall is a big thing, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get through a backyard if it's all covered with snow.
Great point, Craig. I mean, keep your exits clear. Probably one learning we had last week, have a meeting place, right? When you get out of your house, get a plan where you're going to meet. So when the fire department gets there, we can account for who's out of the house. And then we have an idea of how many people are left in the house or who we're actually searching for. We teach our kids at a young age. Start then. Maybe they can teach mom or dad. Just go to a mailbox, go to a shed out away from the house, and get safely out and don't go back in.
Well, these are all things we've been taught since we were kids, but we need to remind ourselves every now and then.
Yeah, usually our memory starts to go as we get older, I think. And
Tell me about it.
It starts to slip away, but and I think if we practice it, I don't know many people that go out and practice an exit plan, but if our kids are telling mom or dad, we should probably know, and that's key. That will make a difference in saving lives, absolutely.
And you guys do a lot of work with kids. So
We do. We love our kids in Levant. We work very closely with them, the fourth graders. They're excited to see us. Sometimes I think we're more excited to see them. Bring the shiny fire truck up, but it's a great experience for us to get out in our community and really educate.
Awesome.
Well, Chief Strout, you are certainly welcome back here anytime.
Thank you.
We appreciate this important information as we head into the heating season. And anytime else you have something you want to share with the public, come on in.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll throw it over to weather with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get these rolling here this morning. A small craft advisory is in effect until 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, so later this morning, this will begin to get dropped as things will begin to improve. But even with that, the sky is pretty clear out there this morning. Not a whole lot going on here, so if you're looking for a good reason to get outside today, you will have that. Temperatures just a little bit cooler to the 40s, but nothing to get too concerned about there. We have high pressure right overhead. Our next system off toward the west. We'll wait for a few days for this to move in, as by the weekend, more decent rainfall will be on the way. Let's check out what's now Nicole, though. Tropical storm Nicole. It's now gained all of its tropical characteristics, with winds up to 70 miles per hour, moving towards the west-northwest at around 13 miles per hour. We have tropical storm warnings and, of course, hurricane warnings up as well. It is expected to reach a Category 1 hurricane before landfall, and then swing up towards the north and east. So we may have to watch this system as it does develop. We will get some rain from this as it does develop. But moving forward, though, back here at home, we had a little bit of wind recently, but that's really starting to calm down. We'll have to wait until tomorrow or even later tonight and tomorrow for the winds to pick up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour in the gusty winds department again, but sustained winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, the wave height started to calm down along the coastline, right around 2 to 4 feet in some areas, 9 feet according to this buoy, even 11 feet in a few spots. So still the ocean remaining rather active moving forward. Our average high temperature is 49 degrees. We'll reach today for the upper 40s, so it's a little bit cooler, but not by much, though. We'll be in the upper 50s for you Thursday, lower 60s for you Friday, and back in the mid-60s as we head towards you Saturday before we cool back down into the 40s moving forward. So futurecast for today, a beautiful day with a lot of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds late. Will become partly to even mostly cloudy in a few spots tonight. Any precipitation you see here will stay off toward the north. We will stay dry overall for the next few days, and even by tomorrow looking pretty good. Just a few passing clouds. No rain to worry about here. We will stay dry, but still nice weather moving forward. Just a few passing clouds at least through Friday. So for today, upper 40s, mostly sunny with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, maybe lower 60s, partly cloudy, southwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Boosted Auto and Diesel extended forecast. So here we are. So by Veterans Day, will be mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 60s. We'll be in the middle 60s on Saturday with a good chance for rain. Sunday, mostly cloudy, highs falling into the upper 40s.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
Hear that music? It can only mean breakfast bagels are back at McDonald's. Imagine a fluffy egg, 2 slices of cheese, plus your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. That's right, the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, and sausage, egg, and cheese bagels are all back, but only for a limited time at McDonald's.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a great place to work. The team here provided me with all the opportunities and experience necessary to grow within the company, all while working around my busy college schedule. They provided all the necessary licensing and training. It truly was the job that kickstarted my career.
Autumn of Life Home Care in Brewer is a licensed agency with personal support specialists.
Let our compassionate, reliable, considerate caregivers make your life a little easier by providing assistance for you or your loved one.
Autumn of Life Home Care. We focus on you. Apply today.
Get excited. It's all for you. We got some fun fall activities happening. I love this. Right here, live and in person. Buckle up. Are we ready?
The Drew Barrymore Show, Wednesday at 11 on Fox 22.
Well, let's switch gears and see what Mr. Food has cooking up for us today.
So I've got a question for you. Around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, do you get a bit jittery thinking about what you're going to make for dinner? If you do, you're not alone. As a matter of fact, 80% of Americans are in the same boat. So to help you out, we're sharing a fill-you-up casserole that's comforting and easy to whip up. The first thing we're going to do is saute some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that we cut into half-inch chunks. Once these are cooked through, we turn off the heat and add some chicken broth, a bit of prepared gravy, a bunch of fresh sliced mushrooms, frozen peas, some pimentos that we've drained, and last but not least, some quick cooking rice. After giving this a stir, we pour it into a casserole dish and cover it and pop it into the oven to let all the flavors meld together. Once it's bubbling hot, ring the dinner bell or just call the troops to the table any way you can, 'cause dinner's ready. Maybe team this up with a salad and some crusty bread for a meal that'll warm you up from the inside out. To get your hands on this stress-free recipe for our classic scallop chicken, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an all-American way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Good?
Do you like mushrooms?
Sure do.
Like those types of mushrooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like eating mushrooms.
Okay,
I like the big old mushroom caps. I mean,
Portobellos?
yeah, I like most food. So
Yes,
there
they're
you
good for
go.
you.
Yeah.
They're good for you. But on a different note, we're going to talk about a different type of mushrooms. A new study says a key psychedelic compound found in some types of mushrooms could help treat depression. Psilocybin, a naturally occurring compound found in magic mushrooms, can reduce depression symptoms. Researchers in London studied the data of 233 people who were unsuccessfully treated by 2 antidepressants. Volunteers were given 3 different dosages and were administered in trial groups. They found that using this compound could have benefits for patients struggling with depression. The researchers now want larger trials with more participants and use placebos to confirm results further.
If nothing else, it'll make them happy for a little while, so it makes sense.
Right.
Meanwhile, a study says a key ingredient used to make beer could help prevent a dreaded aging disease. A study funded by the government in Italy says hops, a flowering plant used to help beer's fruity or bittering flavor, can actually help prevent Alzheimer's disease. Scientists say hops has compounds that prevent harmful proteins from clumping up in the brain. Research